Did you join a cult?
Kagebonshin no Jutsu!
I'll take that as a yes.
It's the Super Squad Day Live Show! Tyler Blunt! Joseph Craven! Special guest, Akira Toriyama!
You didn't tell me we were pointing. I was going to point. That's a ghost again. Oh, dang it. I said that last week.
Really?
I did. I said you were a ghost last week.
And that's John McNeil.
Is that a person?
It is now.
Huh.
It's you. He's you.
I'm him.
And we are the world.
We are
This is my Mississippi too. As the governor's wife says, this is my Mississippi. Don't litter. Don't do it. Welcome to the Super Squad D Live Show.
Which governor is that?
Where the D stands for, we don't know what we're doing tonight. We have no idea. This whole thing is just really starting off rocky.
Didn't even let me jump in there.
No, there's nothing.
Quick shout out to tonight's sponsor, Koei Games.
Thank you.
Creators of Samurai Warriors 4 Empires, which I, for some reason, spent all weekend playing.
Congratulations.
Like 16 hours.
A successful weekend.
Like 16 hours.
How's everybody doing tonight? Drop a comment and let us know where you're viewing from. Probably your computer or tablet device would be my guess.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get real literal with it, which is fine.
Yeah. We're down with literality.
Is that the word?
I mean, it is now.
Yeah, that's a good word.
It is.
We're excited for this episode.
Tonight? Yeah, we're talking about anime tonight.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. That was the whole show.
That was it. Well, thank you for watching this anime episode. Thanks for talking about anime.
That's right. We got Toby in the chat. Hello, Toby.
Yep, good to have Toby, as always.
Always.
We actually are not legally allowed to do a show without Toby. If Toby
the
can't
legal
make
president is very firm on this.
Did you say president?
Anyway, we got Salvatore Grinder up in the... I mean, it's not all one name. Those are two separate people, but I'm glad...
Yep.
It's actually Grider.
Yeah,
and I think every week I mispronounce his name.
You call him Grinder. It's G-Rider. That's how I'm going to say it.
Sorry, G-Rider.
Might not be right.
I'm super sorry. Apparently, I can't read or talk.
I mean, it could be Grider. I'm not going to say it's not.
But could it be Grinder?
But it's definitely not that.
It might be Grinder.
We can all agree that it's not. Oh, man, Ryan is here. It's 2 a.m. where he is.
Oh, right.
And so he just wanted to pop in and say hello.
Amazing. You the man.
That was lovely.
Thank you.
You should sing more often.
I should. So I also want to point out that I got this cool Goku pop. That was it.
It's apparently rare or something.
Just want to plug that. And tonight we're going to be talking all about anime we grew up with. And this DVD... What? This VHS... Sorry, I'm a little... This VHS is fantastic.
He's been hitting the Dr. Pepper hard tonight.
Dragon Ball Z, The History of Trunks. I thought it would be fun to read actually everything on the label.
Okay.
English
I'm
version,
powerless to stop him.
Toei Animation, original Japanese version, Bird Studio, Shihushi Toei Animation, all rights reserved.
Cool.
Licensed only for non-commercial private exhibition in homes. Interesting choice of verbiage there.
Yeah, so we cannot show it on the live show. I apologize for that. That
We
was
were
going to be
show the whole
that was
thing.
going to be the entire
I was
episode
gonna,
tonight.
pretend to put it in and then it was going to do stuff. We're giving away stuff tonight.
We are giving away stuff tonight because it's an anime episode. We recently received this. This came in literally like yesterday.
Today. At like 11 a.m.
You didn't tell me this.
This came in today.
Okay.
This came in today.
Came in today. Who sent that?
A little guy by the name of Greg. He's not actually little, but he's very well known and popular and cool. And we love you, Greg.
Someone says they're upset that's not a Betamax. My father still has a functioning Betamax machine.
Really?
He is such a pack rat, and he liked to get movies from Blockbuster on VHS and record them on Betamax illegally.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
I appreciated that fact.
He was an early pirate, apparently, of VHS tapes.
Do you remember the Blu-ray HD DVD battle of 2006, 2007.
I mean, not as clearly as I remember the Betamax VHS battle of
enough.
when I was like 1 year old.
Well, we could all be watching anime right now on HD DVD discs or Betamax, perchance. So,
we both tend to drink at the same time. It's very inconvenient for the show.
I do it on purpose. I'm actually a co-drinker. When someone drinks, I can't help myself but drink.
I'm sure you do.
It's
Tonight
true.
is all about anime. This is going to be part one of a two-part anime special. Similar to what we did with, was it cartoons? Like Saturday morning cartoons a while back. Very similar to that. And tonight we're going to be focusing on anime that we loved growing up. So not stuff that is like... Really, there's only one show that was in the 2000s that we're going to talk about, that being Naruto, because it was early 2000s, and it's very significant to us in a way we'll explain later on.
We will share with you guys. I want to give a quick shout out to Zach Adams. Hello, Zach. I'm glad that we solved our beef from last week. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Yep. And to Stan, who says, I'm sure my father appreciates me outing him on the internet as a pirate. Well, my father has to care enough about me to watch this show to know that I did it.
And we know that that's not the case at all. All right, so moving on. Wow, that was insanely dark.
Yep. Tonight's episode is going to be focusing on the past, the history of anime. And I think this is really important because I was actually trying to do a little bit of reading earlier today on like the history of how anime became so popular in the United States.
Well, hit us with that.
Well, I didn't learn anything.
Hey, Mitch Netzer, go on.
Oh, Mitch. Hey, Mitch. No, I didn't learn anything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then there you go. Anime. It happens.
Yeah. No, it comes down to a lot of the reason that it was able to finally really translate popularity to the U.S. audience. It has to do with like the late 70s and the popularity in America of the space opera.
Okay, cool.
You know,
very
obviously,
cool.
1977, Star Wars, the most like famous space opera of all time, happened. And it kind of influenced some of the anime that was developed then. Around that sort of time was when, I think the first iteration of Mobile Suit Gundam was in like the mid 70s. It's that old.
It is that old, but still holds up to be a classic.
Yeah, and while it wasn't like super popular at the time, the space opera popularity was big enough so that I believe they, in the early 80s, did a full-length movie. Like the first full-length movie, I think, of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Charge Counterattack, go on.
That came in over to the U.S. and was pretty popular. And that's when things were really catching on. Yeah. Were really becoming more popular. So that was really one of the main things, is that in the 80s, and of course in the 80s is when Dragon Ball...
Yeah, Dragon Ball got huge. And then, of course, Dragon Ball Z, which we're going to talk about
exactly
a lot.
So by the time the 90s came around is when we really got to see, in the late 80s, early 90s, is when we really got to see Sailor Moon, Dragon Ball Z, Gundam Wing,
Gundam was... I mean, really Toonami, which we're going to talk a lot about today.
Exactly.
Toonami really ushered in America, an anime renaissance, if you will.
And, you also had some of the big movies that became, or that were very popular. Akira, for example.
Yeah, Akira was
something
huge.
Like
Still huge.
Yeah, so that sort of thing really started to happen about the 80s or so, the time period in which we were born and raised, really.
Yeah,
and
we're old.
We were, we are. We were the generation that really grew up with easily accessible and popular anime. And that was really
the first generation that really did, because really at the cusp of our height of
unless you grew up in Japan.
Well, that's
then
true.
You did.
Obviously, then you had access to all this. But the internet was really taking form in a way where we had high enough speeds that we could watch shows, we could download anime, and we could make websites if we so chose about anime. And we're going to talk about that.
So Zach Adams was quick to say that Toonami made me.
It really does. It really did make a lot of us.
We actually talked a lot about Toonami when we were talking about childhood cartoons in general. We talked about the influence of Toonami. And so we're just fine-tuning that a little bit tonight.
Yeah. Well, let us know in the comments, what was your first experience with anime? What was your first experience? We see Stanley here. Stanley said...
had to do with getting a cartoon because the character had big boobs.
Yeah. And that's a good reason for a 14-year-old to start watching anime, I suppose.
I feel like
it's a good
that
reason. It happened to a lot of people.
Happened to a lot of us.
It really did.
And you're like,
one of the first animes I saw, I didn't even realize was an anime at the time. I can't remember which I saw first.
Was it Speed Racer?
It wasn't.
Did you watch Speed Racer?
It wasn't, but I did, and it was a Speed Racer.
Speed Racer was made in 1967.
Wow, that old. There you go. No, it was an anime that was about pocket monsters. And it was pretty fantastic.
It was, wasn't it?
And
I feel like, you know what? We actually have several of the best intros of all time. Just queued up, ready to go. So here's Pokemon.
Yeah, that was great.
So good. So something that we're going to be doing in this episode is we're going to be going back over some of the intros that we know and love of some of our favorite shows. Talk about if they, what made them such good intros. Then, of course, what made them such good shows as well.
Yeah. I wanted to point out some of the comments.
Yeah, I was going to get there in just a second. Keep the comments coming. We want to hear what animes you loved. We want to hear your comments on the animes we're talking about. And we're paying close attention to your comments because we're actually going to give the best comment this copy of Ghost in the Shell. So, keep the good comments flowing in.
Mitch Netzer said that one of the first American animes was called Superbook, and it was a Christian-made story, and I've never heard of it, but I will definitely look into that. That sounds interesting. That's pretty cool. And then someone mentioned Zoids. Do you remember? Did you ever see Zoids?
I only vaguely remember.
It was like
Zoids,
one of the first shows that really went for like a hybrid 2D, 3D animation style. Very interesting. Very interesting. Of course, Cowboy Bebop is fantastic, and we're going to talk about that.
Yes. Yeah, Cowboy Bebop was very much one of the big ones as well. And so we're going to get on to that in particular because, of course, that intro will always live
But
on.
Pokemon really was what's funny about Pokemon, I feel like, is that it was the first anime that people watched, but no one even realized it was an anime because we all just kind of thought it was a cartoon. It came on Saturday mornings, or actually in the afternoons, I think. When I was in the 8th grade, I remember it came on in the afternoons, and I didn't even know it was an anime. I just thought it was a cartoon show about pocket monsters, a game that I really enjoyed playing.
Yeah, I guess I knew it was an anime just because I remember reading, probably Nintendo Power magazine,
probably
reading about this incredible Japanese craze. Like it was like people were obsessed in Japan, so they were like, so it's finally coming to the U.S. It's going to be really interesting to see whether it lands in the U.S., whether it catches on in the same way. And so I was like, okay, sure. So I got Pokemon Blue, still have it.
That's a great game.
Yeah, and
superior to Red in every way.
I think so. I mean, yeah, such differences in the game. No, but I had Pokemon Blue and I loved that game. Yeah. So like when the cartoon came as well, I was like, just makes sense.
Yeah,
I have to get into this also.
Got to check it out. So
gotta check them all.
What I consider to be the first, gotta check them all. What I consider to be the first anime that I was really into was a little anime starring this old fella right here.
Oh yeah.
The first day that we got cable, growing up, we didn't have cable in our house, and it was a big deal when we got cable. I was in the 7th grade, 8th grade, something around there, and it was a really big deal. And I was actually over at a friend's house, and I remember we were watching the show, and these guys were fighting in a way that I just had never seen in a cartoon show before. And it was the very first episode of Dragon Ball Z.
That's so cool.
On Toonami. Yeah. And then we got cable that day, and I was just hooked. That's another great intro.
It is another great intro. Quick shout out to G Rider, who did say that it is G Rider, not Grider.
Okay, appreciate that. Sorry, dude.
For bringing up Robotech. I remember Robotech. Yeah, I completely forgot about
that. Was a great anime.
Yeah. Some of the good ones. My friend Scott, MScotter83 out there, talking about his favorites will forever be Cowboy Bebop and Trigun. Those are my 2 favorite intros ever.
Yeah.
And
you know what? You keep going. My laptop's about to die, so I'm going to have to get the battery charger, lest I not be able to see the comments. So you just hold it down yourself.
Okay. I mean, really feel like you could have waited until we were showing an intro.
Oh, well, go ahead and play that DBZ one.
All right. But I'm going to put up the Japanese one just to spite you. Okay, so apparently no one likes the Japanese intro.
It's apparently not as popular. Look at these people. Look at these people saying I'm not professional. I am so professional. I will walk out right now.
Okay, well, all right, fine. Here's the American version. So yeah, much more popular there. A lot of people instantly were excited about it. So yeah, okay,
fantastic intro. And what's interesting about that intro is that the most of the footage are from the movies. Like, not even from the show itself.
Really?
Yeah, totally random. But it worked.
Yeah, I mean, that
really worked.
Trunks is showing up. And Trunks wasn't there for a while.
For quite some time.
Yeah. All right. Stan Lith had to leave.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We miss you already.
Thanks for coming in.
Dan Williams is here, though.
Hey,
so,
Dan!
I mean, I'm not going to say it's an upgrade, but it's at least
definitely
an adequate replacement. Yeah,
it's
a lateral movement.
Yeah, I agree, totally. The D stands for Dan Williams, being deliberately delayed.
All right. Delayed. Pretty good.
It felt right.
Yeah, DBZ, I think, was the show that really, more so than Pokemon, I feel like DBZ was what brought anime to the mainstream of American adolescence.
It did. And I thought it was so awesome. And I remember when I finally discovered, as we'll talk about a little bit later, that there was, like, and I love Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. I love Dragon. If you're not watching Dragon Ball Super, close this browser right now and go watch it. It is phenomenal.
Please don't leave. Please stay here to finish the show before you
leave right now and go rewatch all the episodes. I've seen them all. Dragon Ball Super is good, but Dragon Ball Z was like one of those really generic anime. Like, you talk to the anime fans who are like real anime fans, and they'd be like, "Oh, you watch Dragon Ball Z? Let me tell you about some really obscure anime."
Hey, subs or dubs, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
Subs or dubs?
It's obviously subs and dubs.
Yeah,
simultaneously.
Yeah. I like to hear the voice and read the mistranslation.
Right. I actually do like to read closed caption on all my programming. Fun fact. But, DBZ was really such a gateway for me. And I remember realizing, like, oh, there's anime other than Dragon Ball Z out here? It was mind-blowing. Like, when I finally discovered Cowboy Bebop and that type of stuff, I was just blown away that more existed. But it was definitely a gateway for me into the world of anime. And had it not been for DBZ, I doubt I would have been an anime fan.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I think it was like that for most of us. And it was so interesting because, I mean, when you really go back to the show and look at it now for what it was, there's not a whole lot that really should draw you in. Like, very quickly...
It's just cool animation and good fighting.
Right. But very quickly, you realize that every episode has about 35 seconds of fighting.
Yeah.
And then there's about 5 minutes of... Well, no, there's like 20 minutes of charging up and just talking to each other. And there's about 5 minutes of dead Goku running down the Dragon Road. Because he did...
way, but yeah, go on.
He did that for, I mean, I want to say 95% of the
almost as long as
series.
He powered up against Frieza.
Yeah.
Almost as long.
Really feel like the entire series... It's kind of like how in the first episode of X-Men, the animated series, Morph is murdered.
Yeah.
And, spoiler alert, Morph dies and Beast is thrown in jail. And then Beast is just in jail for the series. Like, he's just never out of prison, And I feel like Goku was dead for most of Dragon Ball Z. Like, how is he the greatest fighter ever and always dead?
I mean, he did die a lot. That's true.
He died a lot.
Dragon Ball Super is fantastic. Go watch it. What other animes do you like?
I like the anime that features Felipe commenting on Facebook instead of the live chat for a little bit, and then remember what he was doing. I love you. Thanks for coming, Felipe.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, Zach, I blanked on what the name of the road was. I haven't watched DBZ in like 20 years. I apologize.
It's okay.
That's on me.
That's on me. It is.
And that's on me.
Yeah.
And I apologize.
I like it when you touch my chest.
That's on me.
That's nice. That's real nice.
So
I actually had a DBZ website. My foray into web design was a website called Majin.tv. It was not as good as PlanetNamek.com. Any DBZ fans out there ever go to PlanetNamek.com? That website was fantastic and was an inspiration for a later website, but it began with Majin.tv, and I've still got the web layouts and everything. So I'm going to post these at some point, maybe to our Facebook page. We'll post them, but they're pretty fantastic.
Yeah. Toby threw down some big names, of course, such as Neo Genesis Evangelion. There you go.
Yeah, that was a good one.
The classic of Voltron.
Voltron was good.
My oldest brother. I want to say his original Voltron toys are still at my parents' house.
That's pretty awesome.
He didn't really save much from when he was a kid. There were just a few things that were important to him that he was like, I'm holding on to these.
And that was one of them.
All the full Voltron set, a He-Man and a Skeletor were pretty much it. So
one of the interesting things about Voltron is it also has made a resurgence on Netflix. There's a pretty great Netflix series out there. Check it out.
James Dunn's breaking down some of the big ones. Gunsmith Cats.
Wow.
Good reference there.
That is a
Akira
good one.
Obbs. Ranma 1/2. Yeah, absolutely.
Ranma 1/2. I actually have a Super Nintendo game of Ranma
Do you really?
1/2.
That's awesome.
It's so bad, but I saw it in the store one time and I was like, I have to have it. I have to buy it.
James Dunn also brings up Excel Saga, which was a Microsoft Office program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was. Salvatore says One Punch Man is fun.
Yeah, we're going to get to One Punch Man next week.
Yeah, we got a lot to say about the glory of One Punch Man.
Because it's the show that got me back into anime after a long time away.
That says a lot.
And manga, so.
That says a lot. So, another anime that we both absolutely loved, that I'm sure someone has mentioned, is Trigun.
I'm just going to throw the intro up.
Okay, hit us with
I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it. I'm going to be air guitaring over here the whole time.
Okay.
Because I'm a big Led Zeppelin fan, and this is basically a Led Zeppelin ripoff of a song.
It is.
I love it.
Here's
HT.
Robert Plant, dude. Just do it.
Sure. I still love the very end of that, where it's just him
So
slumped
cool.
over with the damage, the bullet holes.
When we finish this show, and you go home for the night, because we don't live together. Only on occasion. But when you go home tonight, I'm gonna rewatch Trigun. Like I'm gonna start it and just see how far I get.
Wow. It takes a little bit of energy to get through the first 3 or 4 episodes.
But when Wolfwood shows up,
and then when it starts to really get into the meat of like some of the weird villains he faces, I don't know why it is. I can't really explain it. But Trigun was always my favorite series, and like still is, and I still periodically go back and rewatch it, and I'm not sure what it is about it that, because I feel like there are much better shows out there,
but you just love it.
I just love it.
It's okay.
Yeah. Couple quick shout outs. Ali up here, I think it's Ali, it might be Ali, I assume Ali. Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong. Pointed out Samurai Champloo. First person to point out Samurai Champloo tonight, I'm pretty sure.
Show. Love that show. The music is Phenomena.
Phenomena. Dun, 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 dun. And then Ali brought up Ronin Warriors.
That show is so good, dude.
You still have a Ronin Warriors action figure?
I do.
Here, right?
I still have one in there.
I still have one somewhere.
It's the Red Ronin Warrior, and I can't remember any of their names or much about the plot, but I do remember loving the show. When he put on the white armor. Oh yeah,
Billy,
Kimberly, Jason, and Zach. Yeah, I'm ready.
Those are the Ronin Warriors.
I'm ready.
From what? Okay. Yeah, all right. So good. Yeah, Ronin Warriors. Great.
We're getting real weird tonight.
We put no effort into plating this. It's happening. Ricky C just popped in out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Ricky.
Coming in hot with a Full Metal Alchemist reference.
Boom.
This goes to the shell.
My bad.
Yeah.
I just like pretending like it's whatever we're talking about.
Sometimes I'm just so proud of you.
No, I feel good about myself tonight.
Toby says that he managed to marry a woman who loves anime.
That's incredible.
Good for you, Toby.
You don't find those every day. Or every week.
I don't know.
Or every year. Or every cycle.
Tyler Holland jumping in to say that Ronin Warriors is the show that he wants to see with a reboot right now.
That is such a good idea. I've never heard anyone actually ask for that, but now I want it so bad.
It just makes sense.
If you want to reboot that show?
Yeah, we might as well.
All right, guys. Next week,
we'll see you guys.
We're going to reboot Ronin Warriors. Tommy's going to be up in here with some skills.
Jason.
Yeah, Trini.
Kimberly. Trini.
Yeah, the white armor was sick, dude. Saint Seiya. That's an anime that I never actually saw, but I remember existed, and I know the name, and there are armors that are golden. Felipe, fill in the rest.
All right. Yeah, the white armor. The white armor was actually the Ronin Warriors action figure that I had.
Oh, cool. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah. James is the most recent to bring up My Hero Academia, and several other people have. Have you ever seen it?
No, I've not.
I haven't either.
I honestly don't even know what it's about.
James, leave a comment. Give us 16 words.
Yeah, or
as
less.
To why we. No, exactly 16 words as to why we should watch that show.
Okay.
The clock is ticking, James.
Yeah, but we're 30 seconds in the future, so you know.
Oh yeah, so the live chat's on a 30-second delay. Oh,
it is.
Were we supposed to say that?
We were supposed to say
Tonight's
a lot
sponsor.
Of
the D stands for. Okay. Quick reiteration. Tonight we are giving away this HD DVD copy, Betamax copy of Ghost in the Shell,
starring Scarlett Johansson,
starring Stargit Hanskin, and we.
This is going really well.
The producer's giving me the eye.
We don't have a producer.
Wants me to shut up. She's so mad right now.
There's no producer.
Ghost in the Shell is going to be given away to the person that we think has the best comment on the night. So
right now, I think the most sensual comment is winning.
Which one was that?
Don't play like you don't know.
The one about being a 14-year-old boy who just wanted to see anime boobs.
I wouldn't. No, I don't know if I go that far. You and I have very different definitions of sensual.
What is your definition?
So, another anime that I really loved, and I think has...
You know what? I already know where you're going to go with it. Let me throw the intro up there. Here we go.
Okay.
Tyler's favorite anime of all time.
He probably does.
All right, we got tired of that one. We got tired of that intro. Oh, Tyler, why are you so sad? Are you sad that I cut it off because it's your favorite?
I cosplay as Tuxedo Mask at my wedding. I mean, minus the mask, but it was pretty accurate otherwise.
You know, I was at Tyler's wedding.
Yeah. You were?
Wasn't in it.
That's true. He wasn't.
But I was there.
It's true.
And
I wasn't in your wedding.
Hasn't happened yet. The man has... well, that's true. You're very much not invited. He's not invited to my wedding. But the man had an incredible NES-shaped groom's cake.
It was fantastic.
That's the only thing I remember.
Yeah.
I do not remember your wife's name.
You don't remember my Tuxedo Mask cosplay? Tuxedo, no mask.
Tuxedo?
Tuxedo. It was like stuck to my body. Mask. Did you want to touch my chest again? You can.
I can only do that when the moment's right.
Okay.
Sailor Moon was intensely popular.
And they actually just rebooted it not long ago, and it's supposed to be really good. Is anyone watching the reboot? I don't know. IGN gave it a lot of good reviews.
Let us know if you've seen it and if you're enjoying it.
And if there are lesbian Sailor Scouts still, because they changed that in the American version, which is interesting. That in the Japanese version, I believe they were lesbians, but in the American version, I think they were cousins. Okay. Yeah, it was very interesting.
I didn't never...
The more you know. Sailor Moon, fun fact about Sailor Moon. The only time I ever actually watched it.
Okay.
My friend and I, Joe Spears, different Joseph. We had the brilliant idea. Power Rangers were doing a crossover with Beetleborgs. And we were like,
Beetleborgs.
Yeah, which is just like a whole nother video. But we wanted to see it so bad. And it came on at 7 on Saturday morning. And we were like maybe 8 or 9. Because Sailor Moon actually came to America long before anything else.
Yeah, it was one of the early.
And the original air date was at 6 a.m. And so Joe and I thought, you know what? We should probably stay awake all night so that we don't miss the airing of Power Rangers and Beetleborgs. So we stayed up all night. And about 6 a.m. we were just so tired and so loopy drinking our Dr. Peppers as good overnight stayer-uppers do. Sailor Moon came on. We just looked at each other and we were like, all right. And we just watched it. We watched the whole thing.
There's no shame in that.
I'm not embarrassed.
Yeah. I never could quite watch it when I was younger. Maybe I should give it another shot now. I don't know.
It can't be that good.
Sarah Chastain says that the reboot's pretty good. And it was one that it was great for her as an 11, 12-year-old girl watching it after school with my sister. Yeah. Pretty much the reason we loved DBZ was getting home.
My God.
I watched so much DBZ with my younger brother, Adam. We'd get together every afternoon. We just knew...
It was that Toonami block.
Yeah.
You want to make it home for the 2 hours of anime.
And as soon as the episode was done, we'd turn to each other and be like, man, they just charged up for 25 minutes.
They really did.
That's unbelievable.
It really just happened.
And so for us doing that, as little dudes, Sailor Moon was that for girls of that age, that time period. It was they got to see female superheroes, and it was pretty cool.
I want to just give a quick shout out to Ryan Stanley, because he said he logged in on his phone so he could go to sleep listening to our sensual voices. Yeah. I appreciate that.
And I want to give a big shout out to Justin W. for pointing out something I had forgotten about Tyler's wedding until now. He remembered someone driving the wrong way down a one-way road.
So the next anime we're going to talk about is...
How did that feel? How did do you remember doing that? Do you remember that?
It's the greatest intro of any anime. It's my favorite intro of any anime, and one of my actual favorite songs of all time. Hit it!
I'm just kidding.
Really?
I'm just
really?
Kidding.
Seriously?
Oh, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I think this is the one you're going for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'll whisper it to you. Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I know it. Here it is. We all know it. All right, so first things first, Felipe being bold enough to share an unpopular opinion and saying that he hates Cowboy Bebop.
You know what? I hate that opinion, but I respect the crap out of you for saying it.
Yeah, that's
I liked Elektra, and I'm not ashamed of it.
He did. And for some reason, people hate you for liking
really
that
do.
movie.
They really do. The thing about Cowboy Bebop that was really cool about the intro was it was super stylized, too. It was... who's your favorite anime character? I'm in a group, a Facebook group, and that was a question that someone posed.
Just in general?
Just in general. I don't know who my absolute favorite is, but certainly Spike from Cowboy Bebop is in the running.
I mean, he's like the epitome of cool.
He is. He really is.
They did a great job with that.
So cool.
I think that my favorite, all in all, it's a close run between the man you got right over there reading his book.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Loved that,
Kakashi. He's so good.
But also, I gotta say, there's something about Nicholas Wolfwood.
Yeah, Wolfwood. Somebody else said Wolf was their favorite, and he's definitely up there.
He's probably my favorite just because his storyline is something that just hits me.
Yeah. So let us know in the comments who your favorite anime character of all time is. And don't forget, Best Comment can win this.
Best Comment wins that. Yeah, tell us who your favorite character is. Now, we've got some great submissions as far as like favorite animes. Bringing up a lot of ones that we haven't seen before. Bringing up a lot that we haven't thought about in so long, which is a lot of fun.
Seriously, which is so much fun.
Quick shout out though to Tyler Holland, who a little while back commented, and I forgot to mention it, that he just ordered Jurassic Park the book.
Oh, cool.
And
nice t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Great call there. Love the book. I own like the Barnes and Noble like special edition.
So it's actually like a novelized version of the movie?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Done by some dude named Michelle Crichton.
Sounds strange.
Michael Crichton was 6'10", by the way. There's a fun fact about Michael Crichton. The author of Jurassic Park.
I don't know if I'd say fun.
Was a giant human being.
It is a fact.
Just a huge man.
So speaking of one of your favorite characters, Kakashi, who is awesome. Not my favorite character from that series, but he is up there. Naruto has a huge place in both of our hearts.
You want to cue that intro up real quick?
Let's cue my favorite Naruto intro.
Yeah, there are multiple. He made me download this one, which is fine. I liked the very first one.
Okay.
There's something about it that, because it was a terrible song, and so it was really charming.
It was actually bad.
It was bad. All right, we're going to watch this one real quick. Here we go. All right, so some comments we need to look at real quick. My friend Scott again says that he likes my Lowry cosplay. Yeah. He says that being a guy who actually did have a phenomenal Lowry from Jurassic World Halloween costume one year.
That's awesome.
He grew a great mustache. He had a shirt and like a
that's awesome.
You know it. And I want to give a shout out to Tyler Holland. Says that some of his favorite characters are Vash the Stampede, Gohan, and musician Percy Sledge.
No, that's Pervy Sage.
I don't think so. I think he said blind. Percy Sledge.
No, okay.
So, shout out to you, Tyler Holland.
We got some other good characters. Zach Adams said his favorite character was Pikachu, which is a fantastic character. Also, he likes Monkey D. Luffy. We got some Gokus, Mugen, Future Trunks is fantastic. Gohan is actually my favorite character from DBZ, but Future Trunks is my second favorite character.
Nice. Toby's cracking me up here. He has coursework to hand in, another assignment due on the 24th, but now he has to rewatch Naruto.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, there's like 300 episodes of Naruto, and then a ton of Naruto Shippuden, because they love fillers. You know what I loved about Naruto?
What did you love about Naruto?
Nearly everything, but Joseph and I...
This is such a good one.
And you can go to like the Wayback Machine, which is like the Internet Archive.
Yep.
We had a website that was actually relatively popular.
Quite popular.
At the time, it was the second largest Naruto website on the internet, I believe.
Yep. At least like U.S. based.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And it was called PlanetNaruto.com. And it was fantastic. We created it. When was that? It was like...
Naruto, the show
2002. It was
2002.
right after the first episode debuted.
The show was 2002. So basically, what fan sites would do for these shows back then is they would grab the links. Like the show would debut.
Yep.
Somebody would sub it and have it on the internet the next day.
Yep.
And so what these fan sites would do is provide these internet links for people to access the subbed episodes like the day after. So we created one called PlanetNaruto.com. PlanetNaruto.com.
PlanetNaruto.com, where we invented the podcast.
So we had screen names for it.
We did.
I was Suteki and he was Sane.
Yep.
Sein was meant something like
weirdly beautiful.
Weirdly beautiful, and Suteki, if I remember correctly, meant beef.
Yeah, something like that.
And
it was seriously. Do you remember our live action videos though?
Yeah, so the thing about it is we were looking for ways to make it unique, right? Because there were a lot of fan sites out there and they all did the same thing. Right. It was, here's where you can download the soundtrack.
Here's screenshots. Here's some character bios.
Here's the episode.
Which we had all of that.
Here's the wallpaper. We did that and then we said we need to do more. We need to have more fun with it.
We
need
had
to make it
two unique methods or things that made us really stand out.
So we made videos.
Yep.
Obviously, this is something that we've been doing for a long time.
For a long time.
You know, we grew up together. We've been friends for a long time. In high school, what we did when we got bored was make dumb videos.
Yeah.
So we made dumb videos for this website, but we also made what we called a radio show.
An internet-based radio show that was once a week, and it was about, 30 minutes?
About 30. I think it was even called like 45 to an hour.
Okay.
It was a once a week recorded radio show. So we would get together and record an MP3 and have these segments and all that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And I mean, fast forward several more years,
Apple steals our idea and they make podcasts. And I swear to God, we were going to sue them. This was every podcast you hear. Seriously, you can thank us.
Yeah.
We created the genre.
We invented the podcast.
We invented the
2002.
Because it wasn't a live radio show. No. It was a pre-recorded radio program that we put up every week. I mean, seriously. But the website was a lot of fun. Our videos were really dumb. We did the Sexy no Jutsu video. Yeah. If you've watched Naruto and you know what that is, you can only imagine how fantastic our live-action rendition of that was.
It was incredible. Zach Adams says that he just tried PlanetNaruto.com and doesn't exist. Yeah.
Well, it's gone now.
Yeah. It was gone. Mm-hmm. We had like fans of the site.
Oh, legitimately.
We had someone send us. Yeah, because they lived on the West Coast and they got access to like some like Japanese goodie, like cosplay import goodies, and they just sent us some Naruto stuff out of the blue. We were okay,
it was fantastic,
probably,
and that led to ultimately when our paths diverged.
In other words, we kind of forgot that we were running a website and we just let it die.
We did. I went to college. I don't know what you did. I didn't see you for like 10 years, so I have literally no idea what you did for a decade.
Prison.
Okay, well, that's kind of awkward. But while I was off at college having fun, I made a website based on my new favorite anime, and it actually got bigger than Planet Naruto to the point, this is insane to me, to the point where we were getting $250, which was a lot of dollars to somebody who's 19, $250 a month in donations to stay afloat. It was insane. And it was based around the anime Bleach. Here's my favorite Bleach intro. This is Sailor Moon, I swear to God.
Let me just move the mouse over.
So I absolutely loved Bleach. And I had a website called bleachportal.net. And what was really sad about the website is I put a ton of time into it, ton of work, but it didn't have that spark that I had with Planet Naruto.
I am a charming individual.
I didn't say it was you. It was the name. It was the Planet Naruto name was like Planet Namek. Bleach Portal was like, ugh. But it went really well for a little while, and then I got really involved in college and just totally stopped. But here's the terrible part. So the people who worked on the website with me, that I had like gotten involved with the web designer, because this was back in a day when we made this website, like you couldn't just make a WordPress website. Like you had to straight HTML code this mug.
Yeah.
Like you were like you had to like open up Notepad and you were like spacing. It was
needlessly difficult.
Font. It was so annoying.
I learned the most basic of coding just out of frustration more than anything else. I was like, oh, I broke the site again. I guess I need to look up what I did
PHP.
Like an idiot.
Yeah, and so
stacked 700 JPEGs on top of each other.
Exactly. So it was really difficult to do, but so I kind of moved on with my life, and I checked my email. Like I had an old email address that I had used for it, and I kind of got a new email when Gmail came out and all that. And I checked it, and it was like 50 messages from people who work on the site, and they were like, "Dude, the registration is about to lapse. The registration is about to lapse," and it lapsed, and someone bought it up, and they lost it. And I always felt kind of bad about that.
Well, yeah, you had a bunch of people who were like working for you.
I mean, not for me. I didn't do anything at that point. Like it was their site at that point, really. But I always.
But it's still your fault.
Oh, it was definitely my fault.
You killed their website.
I definitely killed it. Like, it died. That was the day Bleach Portal definitely died. Well, sometime before that because I read the emails much, much later. But Bleach was a great anime that started super good and ended just terrible. It actually got canceled and the manga ended last year. Oh. Immense frustration for fans.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, man. All right, quick shout-outs here. Carlos joined us. Mm-hmm. Great to see Carlos again. Hey, Carlos. Said something about Dragon Quest.
Dragon Quest. Hey, Carlos. Dragon Quest was greght.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, Carlos. We're just going to keep saying hey to Carlos for the rest of the episode.
Hey, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. And Toby, we're torturing Toby.
Oh, he's like, now I gotta watch Bleach.
He's like, I gotta watch Bleach too. Yeah. So I'm sorry, Toby. And Felipe said this. Felipe brought up. He wasn't the first one to bring up, but Felipe brought up once again Rurouni Kenshin because he mentioned that Kenshin is one of his favorite anime characters. Good. He's also mentioned Slam Dunk a few times now. I have not seen Slam Dunk.
Oh, I thought that was a compliment.
Slam Dunk, guys, best sport anime ever created.
Well, I just read the Slam Dunk guys.
No, you're right. He's saying that we created the best sports anime of all time.
It felt right.
Thanks,
I just thought you were super encouraging. Like, Slam Dunk, your website sounds fantastic.
Did not know that's what we were doing.
Rurouni Kenshin was awesome.
Rurouni Kenshin was great.
And the fact he was like the Batosai, he had the reverse, like the sword that was dull on the outside. They actually just released, I believe, a live action movie recently about it, and it was supposed to be really good. I never saw it.
Who's seen it?
Let us know. Do we need to watch it? Is it as good as Electra? Let me know in the comments.
Did you see it?
I'm scared. It's kind of intimidating. I don't know what to do right now. But that was great. Also, we would be remiss if we didn't mention Carlos. Hey, Carlos. We would be remiss if we did not mention Gundam Wing.
Yeah, Gundam Wing. One of my childhood favorites.
Yeah.
It was maybe one of the first cartoons that I watched in general that got to like the level of depth that it did in storytelling. A lot
of depth
and kind of really dark at times.
It was significantly darker than Dragon Ball Z, even though there was like death and stuff like that in DBZ. There was some real serious themes in it.
Because when people died, they just ran down the Dragon Road for a while.
Friggin' Snake Way, dude! It's friggin' Snake Way.
It's a Dragon Road.
Oh my gosh.
What I remember distinctly was Hiro Yui typing with one hand.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, he's so cool.
He's so cool.
He's so awesome.
How's he able to do that?
How does he do that?
And then I became.
But you can type with one hand.
Then because I grew to be like 6'3" and with a big hand, and I was like, oh, this keyboard is not that large.
He changed your life.
Surprisingly,
that show shaped your future. You can now type with one hand.
I bet I'm like twice the size of Hiro Yui.
Probably so, dude.
I do.
But that was a great show. The Epion Gundam and Zex. What a great show that was. And that actually spawned, like, that pushed me into later Gundam series like Seed and 00 and then Original Mobile Suit that I went back and watched. Yeah. And we're going to talk about some of the newer Gundam series as well as series like One Punch Man, One Piece.
Next week,
Full Metal Alchemist. Those are all going to be kind of hit next week because those weren't really animes.
Alchemist Brotherhood.
Death Note, Sword Art Online. Stuff that we didn't really grow up with, but we really enjoy
some of the stuff.
Blue Exorcist
that has really come out and blossomed more so in our more adult years, I guess. So that's going to be next week. So any of those shows that you want to talk about, give your opinion on. In fact, actually, we could really use a little bit of viewer input on this. Any of you guys want to do maybe a little, very small video segment about particular animes that are newer we haven't talked about that you really love that other people should watch, why they should watch it, give a little 2-minute review of it.
Keep it clean and we'll show it.
Yeah, contact us about it. We'll talk more about it. About it.
Hey, Carlos.
A few things to clean up the mess over here of comments that we're overlooking because a lot of them just flew in.
There's a lot of comments that just came in.
First of all,
Witch Hunter Robin was so good. Sorry. Done.
Hey, Carlos. Felipe says that Slam Dunk's a basketball anime. I figured as much. Just haven't seen it. G Rider did have a little. He opened up to us earlier about his previous relationship with Sailor Moon and how she broke his heart.
Well, I appreciate that.
I'm so sorry.
I appreciate that honesty, though.
He says, I still have feelings for Sailor Moon. She won't return my calls.
Escaflowne. Did you ever see Escaflowne? One time I got really sick and I was in the hospital and I started watching Escaflowne. The music, I don't remember the music, but it was, I don't remember, I couldn't sing right now, but I remember thinking the music is amazing. I'm going to go back and check that out tonight after I finish Trigun.
Yeah, with Zach talking about One Piece, technically it would have fit in with this episode
because it came out in '99.
But as you can tell, we were talking about a lot of stuff, so that was one of of those where we were just kind of like,
next week.
We'll just do it next time.
Yeah, true that. True that.
Carlos is here. Hey, Carlos.
Hey, Carlos. Beto says that the Gundam designs in Wing are some of the best, and they really are. Like, out of all the Gundam series, there's a couple cool Gundams in 00 and a couple cool ones.
Our producer's taking a picture of us.
We don't have a producer. There's no producer. There's no one in here but us.
I am, I tried to go and watch some of the other Gundam series after watching Gundam Wing, and I was like, these are bland a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, Gundam Wing, those designs were incredible.
They really
Toby
were.
bringing up Attack on Titan, which is one that I want to talk about because that's a big one. That's a big time one for
sure. And a lot of these anime, it's interesting because we're almost entering into, like, we've had a decade now of comic book movies, but really anime movies, live action adaptions, they've existed, but they're really starting to come more in the forefront. Like, we've got a live action Death Note hitting Netflix next year.
Exactly. Yeah.
Crazy.
Storytelling and production value has just increased exponentially, especially in the 2000s. So it makes it so much easier to take these real weirder fantasy settings. And
Tenchi Muyo.
Yeah,
I always thought his lightsaber was very cool. Not a lightsaber, but totally a lightsaber.
Tenchi Muyo. James and some others have said that the Kenshin live action is really good.
I'd like to check that out. I really would.
Hey, Carlos. And, so thank you guys so much for all your comments tonight.
Yeah, this is a great show, and we could honestly talk about these animes, like,
for the rest of time.
We could.
Yeah, we would die of starvation here on the air, live streaming it the entire time.
It'd be pretty bad.
And you guys would tune in. Don't act like you wouldn't. There's History of Trunks again on Betamax. So, as a quick reminder, the reason we give stuff away is because Tyler is slowly dying of an incurable disease.
Oh, it hurts.
Actually, Tyler was, when he was born, his parents were told he wouldn't live past 18.
It's true.
Look at him now, old as sin.
I almost made a joke that was very inappropriate, so I didn't, but go on.
We've completely lost control of this episode
at
this
this
point,
show
so it would have
just
been fine.
over. Yeah.
But for real, it's one of those situations in which, it'd be difficult to look at the way your life has gone and not feel like you have lived pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah. Oh, it's just I'm super blessed to have the health that I have and to just be kicking in. We both want to share that spirit of generosity. So
I would never admit it to his face, but Tyler's always been one of those people that I respect the most in my life. So don't tell him.
I looked away.
Thank you.
Did that feel better?
No.
Did that make it more palatable?
I never should have opened up like that.
Yeah, there's cue cards right behind here that he's just reading.
Guilt.
He is just reading.
Yeah, the producer's holding the cue cards up.
So there's no producer, first of all. Second of all, sup Carlos. Third of all, we're going to give this away.
We are going to give this away.
And the only thing we ask for this, and for all the giveaways we do, is anybody who's in our stream, do one nice random act of kindness for someone this week. Go out of your way, big or small, whether you find yourself large or a tiny person, and help someone this week.
People are already claiming all of your stuff for when you die.
What?
I'm sorry.
I'm still here.
I'm sorry.
Who wants this? Who wanted this? Who wanted this?
I'm sorry to have started this.
A bunch of bastards. You made me say a word on air.
Sorry to have started this. James wants your stereo. Zach wants the wall clock up here.
Yeah. Zach wants my Dokkan Battle account, which he can't have.
Beto Rios says that it wonders if anyone has any update on Guillermo del Toro's adaptation of Naoki Urasawa's Monster. I don't, but I do have any sort of update you need on Benicio del Toro.
Okay, but that guy you just mentioned is not directing the new Hellboy, and Ron Perlman's not involved either. So there's your tidbit of the day for them.
Who cares?
Dibs on the wall clock?
Yeah, he's taking it.
What?
You want it now?
No.
Here you go.
Wow, you're going to have a hard time getting it back on.
That's fine.
That is going to be a pain to put back up there.
No? Okay. You know what? I'll just hold on to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a really pain to put that back up there.
It's fine. So, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Justin said R.I.P. Tyler's brother, which is an inside joke.
Nothing's funny about that.
Nothing's funny about that.
I miss him.
Not funny. So tonight's winner is going to be, we're going to give this Ghost in the Shell away to someone that we thought had, the best comments. And tonight's winner is going to go,
Wait, before you announce the winner, I have to say, Zach, we are not equal in Dokkan. I pulled Int Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Where's your Int Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta?
He pulled this pop that's rare.
It was a nice try. I appreciate you having my back.
It's just I
appreciate that.
wanted to be there.
You were real supportive.
I didn't know what these words
I really
were.
do appreciate that.
I didn't understand any of that.
It was a good. It was the energy that really meant something to me.
G Ryder says he's over Sailor Moon. Good for you, buddy.
Good for you.
So the winner of the giveaway is someone who summed up the entire reason we watched any anime when we were younger.
Yep.
That's Sarah Chastain, who said that only the reason she tuned into any show is just for the animation. She had no idea what was going on at any point in time.
That is so true.
So
Sarah, congratulations.
You win this copy of Ghost in the Shell.
Hey,
like you said, hey Carlos. Carlos, Sarah just won this copy of Ghost in the Shell. We just want you to know.
That's fantastic. So congrats. It's the 25th anniversary Blu-ray, courtesy of Greg Tammin.
Yeah. If for some reason you already own this, then...
Or you don't want it.
Give it to someone else. I mean, that's why we're doing all this nonsense.
Pass it along.
Yeah. Who cares? Do it. Promethea just jumped in to say Robotech for life. Promethea is the champion once again.
Yeah.
I always love seeing Promethea up here.
Welcome.
Man, all right. Well, this has
been...
been...
a great live show.
No, it's been really bad. This has been one of the worst shows we ever put out.
You can expect it to only go uphill next week.
I'm just holding this clock. I'm holding this
I don't understand what's happening.
Why did I sell out for this joke? It's not a good one.
It wasn't worth it, I can tell you that.
Not at all.
I just really want to drag this out as long as possible, so you have to hold that clock as long as possible.
So a few things. We want to give a thank you to our special guest, Akira Toriyama.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Congratulations to Sarah again on winning the movie. We'll get in touch with you. Anyone that wants to help us out with next week's episode, let us know. Be sure to like our Facebook page. That's Super Squad D.
Like
Live.
this video, unless you didn't, in which case you can dislike it.
Yeah, any of that sort of stuff. So, but next week, more anime. Jump in on that one.
Yeah.
More Wall Clock. More of Dying Tyler. It's going to be a great
We're all going to be
week.
here. Well, probably.
Thank you for joining us, Super Squad D, where the D stands for...
Dying. You've already made that really clear.